So today I want to answer the question if the iPhone 12 is worth it in 2023. So this is my iPhone 12 and this is actually the first iPhone I own, but I've already tested other iPhones like the iPhone 12 Pro Max before that, and I also had my hands on the iPhone 13 Pro and the iPhone 14 Pro Max, so I know the differences. But why didn't I buy a newer iPhone like the iPhone 14? So the short answer is simply it wasn't worth it for me. Of course it has a few more features like the 120Hz display, ProRes, Apple ProRAW and even cinematic mode, but that's not worth it for me, at least at the moment. Maybe it's for you, but it's definitely not for me. So a few more things about my iPhone 12. I have it for almost 2 years now and I don't have a screen protector, but I've got this cheap rubber case which I got off Amazon for like $9 or something like that. And it literally sticks to the table because it's made out of rubber, so it's very difficult to push it accidentally off the table, so that's pretty cool. But the problem with that is you can't put it in your pocket that easily. So for example, if I want to put it in, maybe I should wear this pants more often because it works actually pretty good. But sometimes it sticks to the pants, so you don't get it in and you have to push it like that all the time. And it looks pretty weird in my opinion, but this case is pretty safe in my opinion. My phone hit the ground a few times and it didn't break, so I think this is a pretty good case. Link is in the description if you want to check it out. So for what do I use my iPhone 12? So as you can probably tell, I use my iPhone a lot for YouTube videos. For example, for my iPhone color grading videos, I had to shoot some footage with my iPhone and that's what I use it for. I also like to shoot some photos and edit them on my phone. For that I use Adobe Lightroom and DeAnswer on my iPhone, so that's what I use for photo editing. And then I use my iPhone for the overall everyday life, so like texting people, watching YouTube, researching stuff, all that normal stuff that you normally do when you got a phone. As you can probably tell, I'm using the camera of my iPhone a lot. I think the camera of the iPhone 12 is extremely good. Even when you compare it to newer iPhones, I think you can't see that much of a difference. When I'm filming, I'm usually shooting in 4K 30 for my vlog channel and 4K 24 for this channel. I also turn on the HDR video feature so I can shoot in 10-bit and color grade it later. Color grading this footage actually works pretty good for me, except for all the exposure and white balance changes in the native camera app. So usually when you start shooting and you don't lock the white balance and exposure, it's changing a lot while you're shooting. So in my opinion, that's a big issue. But if I want to have more control over it and want to set my exposure and white balance manually, I usually use the Moment Camera app. In this app, I'm shooting with a flat picture profile with the higher bitrate. And then I usually add contrast in my color grading in post, so that works pretty good for me. So when I take photos with my iPhone, I usually use the native camera app for that because it's so simple and I can access it over my lock screen without unlocking my phone. So that's pretty quick in my opinion. But if I want to take raw photos, which is not possible with this iPhone in the native camera app, I usually also use the Moment Camera app and I just change the format to RAW and that's working for me. So here's some more important points about the iPhone. The battery life of the iPhone 12 is not that good compared to other phones. Especially after 1.5 years of use, the battery life is not that good anymore. It doesn't even last a whole day. I have to charge it at the end of the day. So the battery life is very bad on this phone in my opinion. Other than that, the iPhone has all the features you need, I think. For example, the camera is pretty good. It has an ultra wide lens, very good stabilization. You can take very good photos, very good videos in 4K. It has MagSafe, a very good OLED screen, and 5G if you want to use it, so that's also there. So what's the advantage of using an iPhone instead of an Android phone? In my case, when working with other Apple devices like my MacBook, it's pretty good to have an iPhone because I can just easily transfer my photos and videos with AirDrop to my MacBook. And I don't have to use any cables for that. I just choose the photos and videos I want to transfer and choose AirDrop, and then it airdrops everything on my MacBook and I can edit them. I can also use my iPhone as a webcam, so that's extremely cool. And when I write something in my notes, for example some notes for this video, I can start writing my ideas in this note on my iPhone and I can continue to write them on my MacBook. Also when I copy a link, text or even a picture, I can just simply paste it on my MacBook if I want to. So in my opinion, multiple Apple devices work pretty good together. So is the iPhone 12 worth it in 2023? So if you already got the iPhone 12 or you want to get it and want to save a lot of money and don't need the new features, I would definitely say yes, it's worth it in 2023. Even if you want to have this as your first iPhone, I would definitely recommend it because it's a pretty cool iPhone and you don't need the new features in my opinion. At least in my case. Maybe you want the features, but I don't actually need them. I mean, if Apple would give them to me, I would take them, but if I had to buy them right now, I wouldn't do it at the moment. So if you want to learn something about iPhone color grading, you can check out the video on the screen right now. Thanks for watching and see you guys in the next video.